All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. Glad you could join us. Also, Chris Wynn joining us as well today. I want to play this audio for you again real quick so none of you think that we're liars here on the show. These were our predictions on Friday. Here's what JD and I had to say about prediction of the final score. Here it goes.
I like Chiefs 28-17, something along those lines. Sounds
close,
about right to me.
That's close to my score.
Yeah.
I was going to say 30-20. I was off by 1 point, folks. The final score was 31-20, so I apologize for that. Briefly, let me just talk about, first of all, I picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl 2 months ago. I also said a month ago that I believe it would be the 49ers and Chiefs. Why? Because the 49ers had the best defense in the league, and in my personal opinion, the Chiefs the best offense in the league. Here's why I like the Chiefs, and here's why I bet on the Chiefs yesterday. I said if you get Garoppolo in a situation where he has to throw the ball in a really pressure situation, I don't have a lot of confidence in him doing that. And if you look at what he did 2 weeks ago, he didn't have to throw the ball, so he wasn't tested. Mahomes was not only tested in throwing the ball 2 weeks ago, but he was tested last year when he lost to the Patriots. He's been there before. So I thought that Mahomes and his offense would be better in clutch situations than the San Francisco defense. I don't blame the San Francisco defense per se, but Garoppolo overthrew the ball 4 times in the fourth quarter. And when you look at Mahomes, he was 100% in the fourth quarter. He made the big plays when they needed to be made. And the bottom line is Garoppolo didn't in the fourth quarter. Garoppolo played a pretty good game, but when it came to clutch, when it came to a situation where Garoppolo had to make plays in the fourth quarter, when they were up 10, when they were up 3, he didn't get the first downs needed. He wasn't able to get that drive. He overthrew the ball when, listen, Mahomes made the plays when he needed to make the plays. To me, that was the difference maker in the game. We could overanalyze everything. You could break down every play. The bottom line is I'm happy for the Chiefs coach, because he's been doing it for so long, probably longer than I've been alive. It was nice to see him finally get over the hump. Shanahan's going to be there again, but I also thought Shanahan made some mistakes. Do I blame this game on Shanahan? Absolutely not. But a couple examples I'll bring up is you have to call timeout in the first half and give your team a little bit more time to score. He didn't do that. He's not a very good game manager. I think he's a good coach. I think he's going to win championships. But in my personal opinion, the reason why the San Francisco 49ers got to the Super Bowl is not because of Garoppolo. I mean, Garoppolo's a very good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's very good. But the main reason why they got there was because of their defense. And, when you allow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they score 21 points in the final 8 minutes of the game yesterday? I mean, that just can't happen. That can't happen. And find me a Super Bowl winner and find me a Super Bowl quarterback that doesn't make plays in the fourth quarter. It'd be really tough to do that. Garoppolo just didn't do it. Great quarterback, had a great year. Garoppolo didn't do it. The bottom line is when push came to shove, Mahomes made absolutely monstrous plays when they were down 10, and then he made more monstrous plays when they were down 3. He marched the team down the field twice. Pat Mahomes is the face of the league right now. I don't care what anybody says. You could talk about Jackson and all these other guys. Mahomes is the superstar. He is the guy. So the reason why I picked the Chiefs, number one, was because of that reason, because of Mahomes. And I also got the sense that it was just their time. Their coach, he was ready. It was their time. Shanahan's going to have more opportunities. So, we can overanalyze it all we want to, but the bottom line is Mahomes was the factor, and it was just their time. I felt it was their time. San Francisco's got a great team. They'll be back there. They'll be back there. They'll be back there.
See, I don't do stuff based on feel.
Well, it wasn't just that.
I know. And I agree that Mahomes is obviously an outstanding quarterback. I think he's getting a little more hype than he deserves, but he did make plays in the fourth quarter. I didn't think that Garoppolo, kind of like you said, that he has been on that stage before. But also, they don't have the weapons. You still have to consider the personnel. Kansas City Chiefs, they have this very, very explosive offense. I think that the matchup of Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, DeMarcus Robertson, even Damian Williams, who I think should have been the MVP of that game, by the way, not Pat Mahomes. Williams had 17 carries for 104 yards. He had 2 catches for 29 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he should have been the MVP of that game. But I just think that the Chiefs had a very underrated defense. It was a better matchup for them than opposed to the Packers. And I stated on air, I said that the Chiefs' corners and their secondary will be the difference in this game. And they held Mostert to 58 yards. The Niners didn't have an explosive game on the ground. And in the end, though, Richard Sherman, he got burnt by Tyreek Hill on that big 3rd and 15 play.
And you saw him after that play. He looked, but you don't disagree with what I said. I know I'm oversimplifying some things, but I think it came down to Garoppolo did not make plays down the stretch, and Mahomes did.
It came down to Garoppolo, Mahomes, and also Shanahan and Reed. I mean, Kyle Shanahan now, he's the only coach in NFL history to lose 2 games.
He blew it again. But I don't blame him
in the fourth quarter because he was the Patriots' offensive coordinator.
Let me ask you a question.
So he was the Falcons' offensive coordinator when they lost that game when they were up 28-3 against the Patriots 3 years ago.
Let's flip-flop here. Okay, Mahomes is in Garoppolo's shoes. There is no way Mahomes allows that team to lose that football game. I think his experience in the playoffs, the fact that 2 weeks ago he was tested and Garoppolo just handed the ball off, I think that was a factor with 8 minutes to go. The bottom line is Garoppolo did not throw the ball where he needed to throw it on 4 occasions in the fourth quarter. That's huge.
And I think that he doesn't really have the weapons. Deebo Samuel's a second-round pick. He's a rookie.
Well, Mahomes is a much better quarterback.
He's definitely Mahomes is a better quarterback, but he has. Tyreek Hill is the fastest player in the NFL. Sammy Watkins was a first-round pick.
But you still have to put the ball where it needs to be put, and Garoppolo didn't do that.
And Travis Kelce. Garoppolo has a killer, but he doesn't have a Travis Kelce. So I think that the Chiefs just had the better personnel when it came down to it, and the defense. Which the Niners have this vaunted defense, and Nick Bosa was actually held on the 3rd and 15, and that's pretty clear. But if you look on Twitter, but the Chiefs' defense is actually very underrated in the grand scheme of things, and I think people didn't factor that in when they looked at the line being 54, 53.5, and the Niners had all this press and all this recognition for having this beautiful defense, this amazing vaunted defense, and the Chiefs' defense was not much worse than the Niners.
Mm-hmm. And guys, let me expand on that coaching dynamic because I want to get your takes on. Obviously, we just talked about Kyle Shanahan. And to both JD and Brian's point, all throughout news to talk radio today as well as sports radio, Kyle Shanahan is getting absolutely crushed, okay, because of what went down in the final 7 minutes of that football game.
9 minutes.
The last 9 minutes of that football game. But the point being is that, you have a 10-point lead. You absolutely should be able to hold on to that, given the nature of this San Francisco 49er team as far as being able to ground and pound the football and basically just take the clock out of commission. But also, Andy Reid, guys, your thoughts on that? Andy Reid, a guy who the description has been, he's always been a bridesmaid, never been a bride, right? And he was able to finally get it done. He's been an assistant coach. He was a tight ends coach with the Green Bay Packers back in the 90s when he won his Super Bowl. But, of course, we all know about the loss to the Patriots when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he never got a chance to get that Philadelphia franchise over the hump and a Super Bowl win. He finally gets that Super Bowl victory.
It's a good story.
So where does this put him in the echelon of head coaches?
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer.
There's no question about that. In fact, you could have made the argument even without the Super Bowl win, he was a Hall of Famer. But the fact that he's now won a Super Bowl, and by the way, I don't think he's done. This is a really good football team. Yeah. And when you got Pat Mahomes at the helms, let me put it to you this way, guys. I would not be surprised if it was the 49ers and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again next year. I wouldn't be surprised because, listen, maybe Baltimore has something to prove. Their quarterback has something to prove. I understand that. But I think these two teams are going to be the best two teams in football again next year. Listen, a lot can happen in the offseason, but I truly believe that these two teams are the elite teams in the NFL, and they have set the standard. I think Pat Mahomes has set the standard as what this era of quarterback should look like. And there's some good quarterbacks in the league right now, but Mahomes right now is the elite quarterback in the league, period. Aaron Rodgers is not getting any younger. Tom Brady is not getting any younger. Baltimore's got a pretty good quarterback. I understand that. Houston's got a pretty good quarterback. I understand that. He's proven not only is he clutch. And let me just ask you guys this question because it proves my point. 2 minutes left to go in a game. You're down by 3. Who would you rather have, Mahomes or Garoppolo?
Not even
it's not even a conversation,
no,
right? I mean, that is to me that was the factor in this game.
And one of the reasons is because Mahomes, he's able to run. Garoppolo is not. He has no athleticism. He has athleticism, but he just refuses to run. Mahomes,
he's not afraid to get hit either.
He can take actually when he gets hit, like when he got hit on that run on the sideline, and the ball could have been bad, and the ball fumbled back to make it 4th down. He got right back up. He actually got better.
Yeah,
a lot of Joe Burrow did the exact same thing in the LSU Clemson game. The really good quarterbacks, when they take that first hit, it gets them pumped up.
Listen, he's tough. He's clutch. He's got a great arm. He's accurate. He's smart. He sets a great example. He's a great leader. He's got every quality you want for a championship quarterback, and I think he's going to win a lot more championships in his career. He is the best quarterback in football right now.
But, guys, and JD pointed it out, Williams should have been the MVP of this game. It wasn't the quarterback play that made the difference, okay? Yes, there was that huge play in the fourth quarter, Brian, where we went nuts.
Yeah, the 56-yard
where he airs it out.
bomb.
Yeah, 56-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill.
Perfect
But
pass.
both these quarterbacks, Pat Mahomes had a 60.
Short.
Pat Mahomes had a 60 QBR, and obviously Joe Garoppolo was, I think he was around 40 QBR. A lot of picks and a couple touchdown passes for both guys, but nothing spectacular.
And before the fourth quarter, before that 9-minute mark, Garoppolo had only 4 incomplete passes.
Listen, let me just say this
He was
before
actually
we go to
playing
break.
a better game because Mahomes had
Yeah.
2 interceptions and a fumble.
Let me just say this before we go to break. The bottom line is if you erase the last 8 minutes of that football game, we're sitting here with a different tune saying that Pat Mahomes did not have a great game. But the bottom line is great players, special players, come up big in the biggest situations.
We're saying that he choked.
Yeah.
If that 9 minutes doesn't, because again he had 2 turnovers at that point. He had taken 4 sacks, and he had fumbled once.
He did everything right the final 8 minutes of that football game, and also give some credit where credit is due to the Chiefs' defense. They made stops when they needed to make stops.
So underrated.
But I also thought that Garoppolo certainly choked a little bit in that final 8 minutes. All right, here's what we're going to do, gentlemen. I don't know if you heard about this, but there are some people that actually bet on the game yesterday.
No.
Yeah, I know it's shocker, right? But Nick Bogdanovich with William Hill is going to be joining us next. How did the books fare yesterday? How much action did they take? Oh, and by the way, our friend Mattress Mac, I shouldn't laugh about this, but Mattress Mac lost $1 million yesterday. He bet on the 49ers. So he is the new mush. Whatever Mattress Mac bets on, bet the opposite. Chris Wynn is no longer the mush because he won a 2-team parlay, and I want to.
Big hits.
We all won.
And
We
by
all
the way,
won.
no, I didn't just win a 2-team parlay. I won a 2-teamer when I had Shapiro on the same side. That's
Yeah.
why he's
So I'll
got
tell you what, I had the first half under 26, which hit easily, but I took an alternate bet on under 49.5, and that Damian Williams touchdown screwed that up. That was plus 180, but I was about 3-1, and I lost a couple of prop bets. I made some good money yesterday.
I only made one huge bet, and that was Chiefs money line, baby. So I cashed my ticket. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk a little bit about the gambling aspect. Nick Bogdanovich from William Hill will be joining us next. How did the books fare? We'll find out coming up next. You're listening to the Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.